Hey guys, I'm back here from C&H Small Engine. Got another quick video here for you. We had a Honda Hrx217 in the shop here this past week. A guy dropped it off and he wanted his lawnmower checked out because he was claiming the drive would not function on here, and he also supposedly broke the cable. So he was definitely telling the truth. We had the cable sitting over here in the grime. He did snap the cable. As you see, it is broke. Here's the cable inside the actual sheathing. Let me show you that here, right here. Here's the one end piece right here. Here's the other end piece where it hooks on the transmission right here for that. So he did break the cable on here, and here's the external sheathing as well too. This portion right here goes down to the transmission right here, and the other portion goes up to the housing to adjust it, the adjustment housing right here for that. So the transmission cable is definitely cracked. The customer did bring over a replacement one because he didn't want to have us order one in from the factory. So we went ahead and installed it on here, and now the machine is functioning okay. The one thing about these machines like this one is you have to take the baffling system off the machine to get at the cable properly, and that can take probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours on some models out there specifically for that, because they might have rusted pieces or something else on there. And I just want to make a video detailing about that because the plastic deck ones like this one right here, the Hrx217, they're a bit more difficult to work on, unfortunately, because of that fact. And anytime you have to do any kind of a belt maintenance on the machine, or the cable or something else on there, you got to take all that baffling stuff out of the actual deck underneath there as well too, because the problem is you have a plastic deck, and if you start taking parts off there, more than once out there, you run the risk of having some kind of like a stripping of bolts or some kind of a problem where some of the parts are going like plastic to plastic under for that, and because of that you might start stripping stuff out. And I just want to show you what the deck looks like underneath here as well too for the machine here. So let me flip it up here. So there we go. So you have the whole housing underneath here. You got to take this stupid assembly they have, this whole baffle thing. This whole baffle thing has to be taken out, guys. No joke. It's going to take probably at least about an hour and a half to 2 hours if you want to take your time doing a job out there for that. You got to take this whole thing apart right here. You got to take that out of here, this out of there, this out of there. You got to take all that stuff to get to the belt underneath there. Try to loosen the belt up. You got to take the blade brake off. You have your blade, I'm screwing up. You get the blade brake on there as well too. Good idea to take that thing off to get the belt loose so you can pivot the transmission underneath there as well too. Because the customer I talked to, he brought the machine over here. He said he was looking on YouTube, and he's seen the videos of how to, take it apart on. He's like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's going to take hours to do it. So that's why he brought it to us over here. So unfortunately, he didn't want to do it himself, so we did it for him over here, and we got the new cable in there. New cable is functioning. He does have the he has the hydrostack. It's what I refer to as like a mid-grade hydrostack transmission on this one right here specifically. You can they have a plug on the bottom and a plug on the back, so you can drain it out and stuff like that. But it's not a really good hydro unit like the one I have on my HRC model. The HRC version is a lot better built, and on my HRC Honda lawnmower, I change the hydrostatic fluid at least once a season on her for that, because it's being used by 2 or 3 times a week out there for me, and it's always a good idea to check the fluid level and change at least once a year using the Honda recommended fluid for reference points. The other thing is this one has a tension belt system on here as well too. So one good way to check your drive to make sure it's functioning is check your drive's belt on here. This one has the belt that's constantly under tension, so you can see right there, belt's under constant tension, which means the transmission input shaft is spinning every time the engine is turning as well too. So if your cable is fully tensioned on there, and your belt's fully tensioned on here as well too, and your transmission's still not driving, more than likely you either have low fluid, the machine is either leaking fluid from the transmission unit, or the transmission hydrostatic unit is possibly bad. So that's one good tip about this specific machine I can possibly offer you guys. So if your cable, your transmission drive cable back there is working okay, and your belt is under constant tight tension as well too, and your machine is still not driving even though you adjusted the cable and the belt's functioning okay, it's tight underneath there, there's no kind of cracks, or where the belt's not off the the pulleys on there, more than likely your transmission is probably shot, guys, and they're not cheap at all. So I just want to give you some kind of a good tip right there specifically for that, for the plastic deck xenoloy of the Honda machines here. So we'll go ahead and flip it up here. Here you go. Here's the front of the machine with the tag on here. Or I should say the back, sorry about that. You got the identification tag here. The newer machines have two identification tags. You have one here, which is like a permanent one. You have a secondary one. It's like a barcode style over here. This one is the Hrx217. Here, let me see, zoom in here to show you that. Hrx217K5HYAA and MAGA265 serial designation here. So let me zoom in here for that, show you there. There you go, guys. Sorry about that. This one has the mulch and bag, big knob in the back here, so you can move it around for the actual engagement of the bagger unit, and also the mulch if you want to just do plain mulch out there for that. So, got the reliable GCV 190 engine with the auto choke start system on here as well too. Those auto chokes seem to be working quite well out there, as long as you don't leave the machine outside any kind of weather. You might get some kind of a rust buildup on the auto choke system, so always keep them in the garage. So other than that, me personally, like I said before, I'm not a big fan of the plastic deck, simply because if you hit something in your yard, there's a high likelihood that you can crack your deck or put a hole through it, and your deck will be totally toast because of that fact, versus a steel deck, where a steel deck's going to be a lot thicker, and if you do hit something in your yard out there, you might put a dent in the deck, but the deck will be totally salvageable, versus a plastic deck. You'll eventually start having cracking issues with it right there for that. So here's a front shot, Hrx217. In general, Honda does produce good machines out there. However, I prefer the steel deck. As I said before, I don't prefer the plastic deck. And if anybody asks me about purchasing a Honda lawnmower, I always tell them to buy the steel version deck as opposed to the plastic deck, simply because it will last longer and it's more durable out there for that, guys. So that's the whole machine. We'll go ahead and fire it up here for you. Should fire up in a couple seconds here, a couple pulls, because I did have it flipped over. So bear with me here for a couple seconds here while I get the thing put on fast here. And we'll go ahead and fire it up here. There we go. Fired up in one pull. That's great. Okay. We'll go ahead and shake the drive right now, and we'll put it in. Second gear on there. I'll put it in second gear. We'll go ahead and push the back handle here, and it's driving. Driving good. One good way to always verify your machine will be driving okay. Just use one finger on the back. Put one finger on the handle back here, and just give it a good push, and it's pushing itself out. Okay, we'll go ahead and turn it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put on number 5 setting here. Go ahead and push it again, and it's run great. That's perfect. So the drive is working perfectly fine. No problems with it. Everything else checks out on here. The delay brake works good. We'll go ahead and engage that on here as well too. Use a one-handed. Sorry about this. There we go. Delay brake works good. Drive works good. Runs great, no problem with it at all. Take it up a little bit more, show you that again. Give you a good side shot here. Bring it back down. We'll go ahead and crank it up on the speed selector here again. I'll take it up all the way up here. So we'll do a engine running slow with the sail propelled all the way forwards on here for the actual handle. So it's all the way forwards. It's idling, and we'll go ahead and give it a push down here for reference point. So, and it's driving quite well. So doing good. It's always a good idea to test the machine out about 5 times before you give the customer the machine back to them, so they can verify the machine will be running okay for them. So it's running good. Don't have any kind of problems with that, and it's ready to go back to the customer. So anybody has any questions, comment about this machine here, feel free to drop me a message, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Some kind of a basic question about it. If you have any basic questions regarding maintenance or service or anything else like that on this specific plastic Hrx217 machine. I'll see you guys. Have a nice day.